Yes, you read the title of this video right. Google, probably accidentally, bricked the T-Mobile G1, the first Android phone. You can see here mine appears to be working fine, and that's because it is. This one isn't bricked. These devices will only get bricked at this point when they're reset. And let me just explain why. I have to give you a bit of background first on what it takes to get one of these things set up as of a few months ago. Anyway, when I bought this thing. When I bought this thing for around $60, I expected it would be an easy setup, just like any other Android phone. But no. It is mandatory on these devices that you have to sign into a Google account to set them up. There is no skip button. There is no way around it. This wouldn't normally be an issue because up until recently, and that's kind of a spoiler, Google account sign-in worked fine on these. Only the issue was there was no Wi-Fi setup option in the setup, whether it was before or after the mandatory sign-in. They just assumed you'd have data, meaning I had to get this thing up and running, I had to downgrade it to Android 1.0 from whatever it was running before. I couldn't check because I couldn't set it up. Doesn't matter. And then that allowed me to type a command in from the setup screen. You couldn't see what you were typing. You just had to type it out on the keypad, which would basically enable this thing to go into USB debugging mode. You'd hook it up to a computer, run a command using the ADB tools, which are the Android debugging software from Google, to basically force this thing from the first time setup to open the settings app, so then you can sign into Wi-Fi and sign into your Google account. That is the fix that people came up with if you don't have a data account. If you don't have data, that's the only way you can get past that screen. You still have to sign in. The only version of this phone that had a skip button was the unlocked developer edition, to my knowledge anyway, the HTC Dream. The T-Mobile G1, which is the one you're going to find, the very common one, that if you want the developer one, it's hundreds of dollars. These devices require a sign-in to set up. It's simply mandatory. There is no way around it. Which is why, now that Google has disabled account sign-in on devices running Android Gingerbread that's 2.3 and older, that is why this thing is now screwed. Now, I can't confirm for myself that if I reset this thing, it will be bricked. I can say 99.9% certain that's what would happen, but obviously I have no proof, and I'm not going to test that out and risk this thing getting bricked. I mean, I want to use this thing, man. It's a cool device. I love having it. But, yeah, this is bad. Like, they bricked their first phone. If it was just some random phone, people probably wouldn't care, but I've heard no one talk about this. It's their first device. The first Android phone, the one that started it all. Such an iconic device, and they've just accidentally bricked it, with no sign of a fix coming from anyone in the long-dead hacking scene around these things. Like, all the tutorials are years out of date. I had to hunt for a while to find working links for the Android 1.0 ROM and updates to apply to this thing, to do this whole setup weird thing just a few months ago. Now, there's simply no way. And I can prove that I'm not lying either, and that Google account sign-in certainly is dead by taking a look. This is an HTC Hero 200. It runs Android 2.1. I'm just going to open up Gmail and cover up my name, but you can see there, no connection. And if I hit retry, which I'm going to have to do off screen because there's not enough room, no connection again. So, yeah, it certainly does not work. It doesn't work. So, yeah, Google account services are dead now on all these old devices. It's true on all mine. Now, if you want apps on these at all, even the versions of Android like Gingerbread that still supported the Play Store, you have to sideload APKs. Whether you can find some to download through the browser, or more likely you're going to have to sideload them with ADB, which I mentioned again earlier, because at this point it's the only way. Which the app installation isn't the problem. It's more the fact that you literally can't set up the first Android phone anymore. Anyways, this is just a short little unedited video for my second channel because it wasn't really worth making a big video production about it on my main channel. And that's why stuff like that verbal slip up a few seconds ago are left in. Anyways, I just hope someone from the hacking scene will come up with some sort of bypass for this thing, because it's certainly possible. to do. It's just, is anyone going to put forth the time for such an old device? I certainly hope so, it being the first Android phone, but we'll just have to see. People haven't hacked this thing in years, man, which makes sense. It's an obsolete device. But yeah, for now, I'm going to have to just be very careful and not do anything that could possibly brick this thing and cause me to have to do a reset, because then I'd be screwed. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is me, hoping for a fix soon. Signing out. Also, don't buy one of these right now, or if you do, make sure the seller doesn't reset it, because then you're screwed. Anyways, I expect that working ones of these that haven't been reset, if no fix is made, will shoot up in value. But maybe I bought it at the right time. Have a good day. I'm out.